All right, so we've straightened out the pile a little bit. The top 13 trusses now are pretty much straight in line. So we can go ahead and measure the top one and the 13th one. I'm going to leave these guys. We'll do them later. I can't bang them straight with a sledge without wrecking them. So we will leave those ones for now, but mark all the other ones just for the strapping. So every 2 feet, we're going to be putting a run of 2x4 on the roof. And we're going to go mark those now, get that ready. And like I said earlier, there's 7 runs of 2x4 going inside here. That'll be more clear once it's up, but there's one in here and one on that other one, and then I forget where they all are, but in these middle ones here. Basically, once the trusses are up together, it'll run through the different trusses to hold them all together inside the webbing. So we will get all that in, or get it all marked, and then put a brace up high enough that first truss can lean up against it, and we can screw it solid, and then we're good to go after that. So we'll see how well that works. The plan is to drag the truss over to the wall there, and then flip it up like this, put one end on the wall, lift this end up, put it on the wall, and then slide it all the way over there, and then flip it back up straight. Should work. Alright, that was a fun challenge. We've got one up this far. She's hooked on the wall, and I put a little 2x6 stub here to keep it from sliding back off. Now with the tractor, we'll lift this side up. Lifting it here, obviously if I lift 6 inches here, it's going to translate to like 2 or 3 feet here. And we'll hook it on this wall, and then it's just a matter of sliding it over to the other side. Like I said, it all makes sense in here, but I'm still a little apprehensive. We got it this far though, it worked. And then we'll see how far we get. If it doesn't work, we got guys coming and I can get a crane. But I just thought it'd be fun to do it by ourselves. It's interesting to see how far we, just as a family, can get in this project. So everybody's here participating. You were helping, right? You? Yeah, I think so. You were holding the stick and Mama was helping. Waylon was. I don't see him now. Wesley was. Where's Waylon? I think I hear him. Nope, that's Ainsley. She was cheering us on. Anyway, loads of fun. You can see there I got the support posts up on the other side. So once we get there, the truss will be that way, leaning up against those. That'll hold it from falling off the far end, and until we get more of them in. Once we get 4 or 5 in there, then we can cross brace it and X brace it, and then it'll hold itself together. But until that point, those are very critical for keeping it from falling over the edge. I'm also planning on putting OSB, this wood, on the truss. So once I get it to that far, I think we'll nail that on before we prop it up as well. Which makes it heavier, so I don't know, we'll see how that goes. But we'll keep trying our best at least.
I have been dreading putting trusses on this house from day one. As soon as the first post went up, I was dreading putting trusses on. Never done trusses before and was not looking forward to it.
No, see, and I kind of look at it as like, hey, it's a pretty cool challenge. So I wasn't really planning on putting them up by hand until I had an old guy tell me, well, you're not gonna put those up by hand. We used to put them up by hand all the time. And then I was like, of course I'm not gonna put them up by hand. But then by the time I left the laneway of his place, I got thinking, I'm man enough to do that. By the time I came home, I figured, yeah, we're gonna do this by hand. So I don't know if it's a good idea yet or not, but we're gonna. All right, so we got the first truss up. It wasn't too bad. A little bit of work. Probably better than expected, actually. We got it laying flat, and now we just need to strap it and put OSB on it. So that is our outside truss. That's why we're doing that. The strapping is to hold the OSB, and the OSB is going to line up with the downstairs OSB on the wall. Everybody okay?
Yeah, so that was a disaster.
Yeah, so as you can see, that didn't quite work like it could have.
so glad somebody wasn't hurt.
There was a few mistakes that were made.
Total fail.
Well, it could have been worse.
Yes.
Gotta look at the bright side.
It was so scary. So stressful.
It wasn't that bad. It happened too fast to be scary.
It was scary to me.
Why? It was already on the ground before we knew what happened. Nothing scary about that.
It was still scary.
Everybody's fine. But now we're faced with a problem.
How do we get it
heavy.
up?
It was heavy before we put all that plywood and strapping on. Now it's super heavy.
Yes. And we can't just leave it there.
No. It's got to go up.
Or it'll take the form of the bow.
Yes, by nightfall it needs to be straight. Otherwise I'm pretty worried it's going to be all crooked in the morning.
And we're exhausted. We've been at this for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Good news is you're Superwoman though. Alright, as you can see we got it back on the wall. It took us quite a bit and it was too dark to film. We worked into the night there with lights running. We did nail some scabs on the wall. You can kind of see there the truss is hooked on some scabs, and those are nailed on the wall to prevent it from falling down a second time as we lift it up again today. Yay! We got it up and it worked. It's standing, hasn't fallen down. Now quick, put some screws in it. Quick.
You still have any of those ridiculously long screws, Russ? Those, they had a whole bunch of those 4-inch. Any? Yeah. More? It's tight now? Bottom knot, eh? Okay, I admit it. That was a big challenge. We got one up. Getting it up here actually wasn't that bad. The pile is right there. It wasn't too bad getting it up here with tractor help and even sliding it. They're not that bad. They're 264 pounds each. But by the time we got it here, I put in all the strapping. You can see all the lines of 2x4 there. And then these guys, those guys don't have that, right? So we strapped it, and that adds a lot of weight. And then we put OSB on the whole thing, and that adds a lot of weight. And then we had to get it up. So we put the OSB on, it was sitting flat out. We had sticks underneath it holding it up, it was flat out. Put the OSB on, everything was great. And then we started propping it up, and the top piece of plywood up there let go. And that's where my 2x4 is on. The 2x4 shot right up through the wood, and that truss come down, well, fast. Luckily nobody got hurt. It also popped off the wall at that point. So the whole truss was laying here, kind of bowed. Not showing you right, but it was stuck up on that wall still, and on this wall, and the rest of it was just bowed in the middle. And so obviously I couldn't leave it like that for the night. Well, obviously I say, I didn't want to leave it there because I didn't want the truss to end up taking that shape or that form. So last night yet, well, we worked with lights by the time we're done. Right there's the lights. We got it propped back up on the wall, and then I put these cleats on. Okay, that prevents it from coming off the second time. There's a bunch of these cleats on the wall here to keep it from coming off the second time. That in case the top slipped again, at least the bottom wouldn't come off the wall. And anyway, today she's up. We got her up here. I don't know what time of day it is here now. We worked at it for a while. It admittedly took a lot of work. It is very heavy with OSB on there. I should probably sit down and figure out how much weight that is, but it's up, it's nailed. I got a little bit of sheeting to nail yet, but all in all, it's up. And it can be done. That's the heaviest one. The rest will be way lighter. I'm thinking we probably doubled the weight. It's probably somewhere up in the 500-600 pound range with all that wood on there. So, yeah. One grown man, one grown woman, and a bunch of kids. You don't want to do it again, though, do you? No, she says no. We are probably going to do some just normal truss without plywood. I want to make sure that it is possible and time efficient to do that. I did call a crane. I can get one in here. It's a 4-hour minimum, $150 an hour, so it's $600 minimum to get him to come out here and set them, which would speed things up. But I'm still not sure if we need it. I got 5 guys coming tomorrow to help me. I don't know what I'm going to get them all to do. So I think we'll probably still hand bomb them. But I want to try one today just to make sure that that is not a dumb idea, I guess. And make sure it does actually work. They're not that far away. I mean, they're literally right there. So even with the crane, it's not going to take 4 hours to set these up, I don't think. But yeah, it's up. We're happy. Screws in here, I'll never get this off, eh?